the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Some of our teen sports listeners, I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This is a whole hour set of our teen athletes. Oh, wild crowd and all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Yeah, we're full today. That's because it's supposed because it's spring, and we did planting over the weekend, and I love when we do the planting. Did you have planting, Dr. D? No?
I'm actually pulling out the old weed whacker and knocking down the weeds.
Oh, doing the weeds. I love doing the planting.
The grass has gone berserk,
really?
Which is wonderful. It's
like
green. It's lovely.
I love the planting.
Got a little rain on, what was it, Thursday morning, I should say, with even a dusting of snow up on West Camino Cielo.
Wow.
That was Thursday last week.
Sweet.
And this past weekend, I got the weed whacker out and the snowshoes. No snow, but I figured I was in the mood. And but it's just beautiful right now.
It is beautiful.
But please, folks, take care of your area. 100 feet from the structures, cut down the weeds,
Yeah, we can't forget. Definitely.
I mean, let's not have a repeat.
Definitely.
Okay?
We're going to go around the room because we got a lot of co-hosts here today. I love it.
Yes.
I love it when the co-hosts all show up.
All right.
To your left, Michael Baker is in the house. We love our MB, Mr. Nice.
How we doing?
Mr. Nice. I love it.
I just
politics. That's what I see. I see politics in his future.
I have one question for this man.
Skeleton.
How's your roof?
Oh, that's good news.
That's we're going to start it off with good news.
Yeah, I can't say who did it yet because it's going to be announced at a ceremony.
Nice.
But we did receive funding to replace the roof and carpentry. And just as an aside, Doc, I'd recommend, if you're going to plant, let's plant some hair. You and I are going to plant some hair. What do you think? We're in that? We're going to do some hair?
Yeah, okay.
It'll take.
By the way, I understand it was actually a drive-by roofing that you had.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Very nice. He's good.
Nice. So we're going to have a nice ceremony.
We will.
And we just had a ceremony.
Remind me. What was it?
We had a really nice ceremony, a little playground.
Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, brand new playground.
Nice.
Yep,
That was a nice ceremony.
at the Galita Club.
Brilliant idea.
Ann Vieira.
Beautiful.
Long-time club employee.
That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, a lot of folks came back, and the godfather of the Boys and Girls Club was there.
I like what you're doing, taking care of those that take care of the clubs for a lot of years. That's nice.
It's safe.
It's very respectful.
You see how she said that?
Yeah.
You see that little tinge in there?
No.
I know it's good. It was good. It was right.
Very respectful.
I know. I'm saying
It's
again.
really nice.
I'm saying it was good. It was wonderful. You brought me back east the way you said that. It was very good.
I won't.
You're
a respectful guy. Anybody to the right, anybody to the right of the Mississippi gets it. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay. It's good.
True.
It's good stuff.
It's all day.
Yeah, all day long. But no, things are good.
Good.
You got a lot of people here to introduce, so
I know. Well, what do we got to do? We got a lot of stuff. We got a camp that needs fixing. Come on, that's next.
Yep, it's been what, 8 months, 9 months now.
It's not done yet.
No, it's not done.
He's like,
no, come on. We just got the carp roof done.
I know. Okay, so we need a camp.
Yeah, we need to. We're rebuilding that. We're in the process of doing that, and then.
All right.
So.
Okay.
It's all good though. We're making
he's not
progress.
asking. Go pass the mic then.
No, I'm not asking. We're good. We're good.
Right. There's a lot of love in the room.
Hello.
Brian moved, everybody.
Shh.
Sorry.
No, you can. I'm just kidding. Yes, I did. I moved my house and my clinic.
I know.
But I'm still in Carp, so not very far.
But it's nice. You got the clinic and the house and the Zen, and it's wow.
Good. Yes, I'm right near the beach, down near the campgrounds in Carp, so it was like a good 6-block move. It was
nice.
But in Carp, that's huge.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot.
Where'd you go? That's half the town.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. And the community garden's in full swing, as Dr. D was saying, and took a little class on worm composting a few days ago, so that was fun.
Wow.
Carpentry Community Garden's got a lot of stuff going on if you happen to venture down in that area. Every week they got different classes and events happening there. So it's a beautiful
art
garden
down there.
Lots of art. Yeah, it's really neat. It's kind of a showcase garden. You can just go and take your guitar and hang out there. It's beautiful. So that's my world.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
So you book?
Huh?
Book?
Finished? to change a dissertation into a book is kind of a lot of work, and I'm kind of tired of it at this point, which is okay. But I'm looking to do some other projects right now. Actually, we were talking about education earlier, and my next interest is somehow trying to do an interdisciplinary course for City College that doesn't yet exist. It's
nice.
Kind of combining depth psychology and Chinese medicine, but something interdisciplinary, bringing diverse subjects together and seeing where they overlap. As we've now sort of maxed out, I think, the single subject courses and in my opinion, interdisciplinaries. It's been around for a while, but it's starting to bring that more into the forefront. So I'm working on some class proposals for that.
So that's really neat because in ancient times, we didn't have teaching wasn't divided up into subjects the way it is now.
Right.
It was more interdisciplinary.
Yeah.
You learned your math while you were working on languages and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and it's not to say single subjects are bad or wrong. They're needed in certain cases, but I think now new approaches to learning can and should be maybe implemented, and that's one way of many different ways of teaching. And so that's what I'm interested in at the particular moment. So I put the dissertation aside as that's done. Nice. And onward.
Woo! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Doctor.
Yeah, I still gotta do some bow tying, but it's pretty. I'm done writing.
Nice.
So.
I'm really so proud of you.
Yeah,
God,
thanks.
What a journey.
Yeah, it took a while.
Because I've known you for all that time.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're gonna go into graduate school or a PhD program, you have to really like what you're doing because you're going to spend a lot of time.
John, pay attention
years.
That's it.
And really, I mean, why would you get into something if you're not really enjoying it anyway? I mean, I look at that from either high school and college level too. I mean, why go to college if you're not really enjoying it? Certainly not to get a job because that's not going to work. I'm not necessarily saying that's wrong or bad, but that track doesn't quite work anymore. So you have to really enjoy it, in my opinion. And if you're lucky enough to find something that you really like, then good stuff follows. When you have that passion, you find something you really enjoy.
Quick question: have you started surfing yet in Carp? Do you feel the water?
I went out. I surfed Rincon last week. The water is still a little bit brown and orangish, but the waves were so good I couldn't help it, and I felt fine. I didn't stay out for very long, and I think the water it's not great, but it's not bad either. We've had enough swells to come and start washing away stuff, but I don't think the water is going to be totally safe for probably another 6 or 8 months, to be honest. But I went out and I was fine. So, but if you have a weak immune system or you have some infections, I'd be pretty cautious still. But I felt okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. To my left, we got Mr. Andy Gill.
Hey. I'm sorry for the disappearance, but I see Brian more often playing softball than anything else. So, yeah, but I'm happy to be back. It's been probably 6 months, to be honest.
Basketball.
Almost a year wed. Basketball season is over. Life in Carp is good, and just to kind of plug a couple events. I mean, every Thursday the farmers market's pumped. Farmers market's pumping, and then first Friday of the month in Carp. It's actually a little downtown party. First Friday's fun, and if you're from Santa Barbara, you should definitely come out. Support the little town of Carp. I just moved to Carp a couple years ago, and I have fully engulfed it. I love it. I ride my bike everywhere. Sometimes on the weekends I don't even turn on my car, so life is good. Right. But other than that, City College life is great. I got an incredible guest here later who we'll introduce, who I've known since 7th grade. But other than that, any questions for me? Life's good.
Yeah, so I want to go to, let's hit the 9th through the 12th grade, because that's what, I love when you pump that all up. At today's, oh my God, what is it? 24.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
April.
and then
on the Promise program, real quick.
Yeah.
Because we do the international exchange group students. Now, Laura Arcadia, she got into
I see her on campus all the time.
Yeah, she got in on the free ride system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not true anymore for the international exchange, because they have to have a EI. What do they have to do now?
Well, I believe the forms the kids fill out for the Promise program, they have to have a social security number, and if you're an international student, you have a certain kind of visa, I don't think you qualify.
Interesting. Well, I don't want to say anything that I don't know.
Okay.
The Promise
so
program,
we'll check on that.
Yeah, the Promise is definitely third party from my job.
Right. Okay. Got you.
But for the students that are eligible,
right.
Oh my God, it's gold.
Oh, it is so gold.
Yeah, so I'm going to preface it like this.
Okay.
I'm an academic counselor at Santa Barbara City College, but I still remember the high school stuff. So
got it.
If I was still a high school counselor at this point in the school year, it is what day is it today?
24th.
24th of April on the show.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So it's the 24th of April. If I was a high school freshman, I would really start thinking about maybe a possible dual enrollment course through Santa Barbara City College, maybe just some volunteer experience. But at the end of the day, that first year was already challenging enough. So much has changed, the voice, the body. You've now grown 4 inches. So I think the bigger thing is if you survived year one, that's a good thing. Surround yourself with good people. And hopefully the rest of your time at the high school level will be okay. If you're a sophomore, you're starting to prep for the SAT or the ACT just a little bit. You're really starting to kind of maybe take your first AP class if possible. Other than that, start developing those relationships with those teachers that you like. They might be writing you a recommendation down the line in 1 or 2 years. Sophomore year, you're hopefully involved in a club or a sport. Statistically speaking, you got to be in one or the other. You need to make your community smaller. You got to have those people around you that are going to push you to be better. The students getting in trouble are the ones not doing anything after school, so we want to make sure that we get them involved. If I was a junior, I'm a little stressed out right now. You're probably retaking or taking for the first time your SAT. And just like Brian was saying, it is very important that we have this conversation because college is not for everybody. And as an academic counselor from the college, I can definitely say that and feel very confident saying that. If you have skills with your hands, if you have skills with cars, if you have skills with food, culinary arts, it is important that we need these people working. And maybe a bachelor's degree in English might not be the right fit, but we want to make sure that you are at least contributing to society and you have some money to provide for your family. But junior year, at this point, SATs, really honing down those letters of rec, starting to kind of narrow down your colleges that you're considering. Definitely start considering the smaller schools too. The little liberal arts colleges are gold. They actually tend to offer more financial aid. They tend to offer more spots. They really, really are looking for students of color. They want to diversify themselves, but sometimes, very, very good example of this the other day, I had a student who was admitted to Westmont. First financial aid package wasn't what she wanted. I told her to call the school and just be brutally honest with them and say, I really want to go to your school. It's just not working out. They were able to provide her with a little bit more aid, provide her with an extra scholarship application. So private schools will work with you. Small liberal arts colleges will work with you. UC, CSUs, public schools, they're a little bit more strict because they're funded other ways. But private schools will work with you, I promise. And then if you're a senior, don't fail your classes. Don't fail your classes. Stay the course. Keep your GPA up. You've already been admitted, hopefully. Have fun. Enjoy your summer because, to be honest, I was way too stressed out in college. And looking back, I wish I would have had a little bit more fun during those years. But now life is golden. If you were to ask any of my friends growing up if I'd be a faculty member, they'd probably all laugh. But now I'm in a good spot, and I feel very confident saying that I can be honest with these students, especially students of Latino students, especially who weren't always considering college. I feel like I could be a pretty good influence on them.
And you're really well spoken, I gotta say.
Oh, thank you.
Like, really, doesn't he? Like, I follow you.
Oh, thank you.
Just like,
I have a Twitter account.
I know, for me, I know, serious.
Yeah.
Right, Michael Baker follows you. I was right with you.
Oh,
Put your hands together, I love you.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. That's why it's okay for you. Well, we're not done. We got to keep going. Look up, she's here, Michelle Meyering. I don't care. Stop smushing me. Okay. We love Pal.
Pal's in the house.
That's right.
I know.
We love Pal.
Oh, we do. Thank you. And we are planting the seeds for success.
That's right.
And growing the next leaders in Santa Barbara.
That's right.
So
we all love you and we all support you, and you're like one of my faves.
Thanks.
Okay?
Well, and I have two amazing guests with me today.
Get to them after break, but we have to give hugs and kisses to Alexandria because Alexandria Marx is our teen queen.
Woo!
We got big things that we expect out of her. No pressure. I'm into what's that book that we're watching? That other country, was it Danish? What is it? The Danes? How the Danes do things? No pressure. I'm not supposed to say good girl or anything like that. I'm supposed to commend how hard you try.
Positive feedback.
That's it. Yeah, I'm not supposed to put high expectations on you. I'm just supposed to commend your effort.
Thanks.
Whatever. That's just a dumb. That's a whole dumb country. I never did that with my kids.
Just for reference.
I threatened them.
Michael Baker's cringing in the background.
I know,
Let's just put that
exactly.
out there.
What do you mean you can't hit the ball?
Different generation.
Exactly. Right. You want to eat dinner?
Erica?
What?
I'm a mandated reporter. Just, that's all I'm saying.
No hot food for you.
CPS.
Yeah,
Make
two
sure
mandated
everybody get
reporters.
Coffee. We'll see you in a few minutes. Be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
Andie Gill, who'd you bring?
Oh man, so I got one of the groomsmen in my wedding.
Yeah.
Baller since 7th grade.
Nice.
But just to kind of Santa Monica City College basketball player turned NBA trainer turned European skills trainer, head coach, D-League assistant coach.
Nice.
Sat on a lot of benches. If there's anybody that analyzes the game of basketball, it's Ross McMains. Ross McMains, originally from New Zealand. When I met him, nice, flowy, long, golden locks. Straight out of an And One mixtape show. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but an And One mixtape, strictly just street ball moves all day long. I met him at the YMCA, and then we started going to high school together. We were on the same team together.
This was at San Marcos.
So I actually graduated from Santa Barbara High School, but I worked at San Marcos High School.
There we go.
So yeah. So I used to get a hard time there. But Ross McMains, if you don't mind, just currently, just so we can get an idea of what it is you're doing right now, and then I'll ask you some questions. But what are you up to right now in regards to hoops?
Absolutely. Thank you, Andie. That was a very nice introduction. You're the man. I'm staying at your house right now, so I hope you let me stay there some more. But right now, I just got back into Santa Barbara. I've been working with the Westchester Knicks, which is the New York Knicks G League team. So it's basically, you follow minor league baseball, it's the version of that. It's the minor league team for the New York Knicks. It's a team where they bring a lot of their players up from. And so I just finished that season, got back to LA, and came right up here to Santa Barbara, and I'm now here doing pre-draft workouts with players who just finished college that are getting ready for the NBA draft.
What's wild, a lot of people don't know, is that Santa Barbara has actually become one of the newest hubs in regards to NBA training. The P3 facility, at any one point you could walk down State Street and probably see 5 or 6 or 7 NBA athletes. They're in town everywhere. I really utilize Twitter at this time a lot because I'm trying to get NBA players to come to my high school practices. So it actually has worked quite often. You'd be surprised how many NBA athletes use Twitter. They actually respond pretty freely too. Fresh out of college, UCLA, Zach LaVine is a good example. I messaged him on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm a high school basketball coach in Santa Barbara. Would you love to come to our practice?" Absolutely. What time and where? They're young kids looking for stuff to do too. So they're willing to go out there and have some fun. But
God,
Ross,
that's so exciting.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And watching Ross work, what's pretty incredible is that, like, if there's anybody that studies anything, it's this guy. He was telling me last night, and he showed me on his computer this software that he uses to break down film and clips, and he'll watch actually, it'd probably better hear from you, but he was telling me he watched every scoring play in the NBA in a certain season. All scored points, and he analyzed all of it and broke it down, put it into specific files, used it in his database. So tell me more about that.
Right, yeah. So it's a program called Synergy Sports that a lot of different teams have access to. And for me, it was my greatest education tool. I've been lucky enough to be around some good coaches, but at the same time, I've probably learned more from watching film and just analyzing it and figuring it out myself more than anything. So no, I was 19, 20, I got access to it, and I basically sit at home every night, and I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, didn't have too much else going on, and would just watch every made basket from every single night, every single game that night.
What's like a number of points in a night usually?
So, 100 points a game for a team, and you got 14 anywhere from 4 to 14 games. Yeah, and 2 teams that are playing. So it's a lot. And if it was something new that I'd see, I'd create a category. I'd put that clip in that category and start to build a database of different moves, different reads, different actions.
You're a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Santa Barbara doesn't get enough love. There is some incredible talent coming out of SB, and Ross McMains, for one, is a young up and coming coach, and I would not put it past him. He'll be on an NBA bench pretty soon. But working with local players, Julian Stone, Taylor Rochester, Roberto Nelson, Santiago Aguirre, and then start expanding outwards, it's pretty wild the number of athletes that he comes across, and he has really, really incredible relationships with people that you see every day on TV that little kids admire and idolize. And the fact that he's so down to earth and he's a nice guy and he doesn't buy into like some of the, I hate to say it, the crap. He keeps it very real. So,
what do you attribute to Santa Barbara sort of like, wow, talents bringing up here?
I mean, I think Santa Barbara is a nice area where it's a beautiful place. At the same time, there's not a tremendous amount of distractions here. So I used to do a lot of the training with NBA players down in Los Angeles. That was kind of when I first started out, when I was 19, 20. And then I moved everything up here to Santa Barbara and paired with P3 that does as good of a job as anywhere else in the world as far as developing the athlete. And it's just, I mean, LA's great. There's a lot of distractions there. So sometimes you get a player coming to LA, they're not coming for the number one priority of working out. They're coming to enjoy LA, and then number two, let me conveniently get a workout in here. But in Santa Barbara, although it's a wonderful place to come, you get a basketball player to come out here, they're coming out to work out. And then at the same time, it's a beautiful place. They get to walk down State Street. They have great food. They've got the beach right there. And they can still live a nice life. We're not taking them off to Montana or something where there's not as much going on. Sorry if there's any Montanans here. But
Are you able to, you've broken down so much film over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to watch a game and be a fan without analyzing?
No. Not really, no. Really not. No, it's pretty much the game. As the game happens, it's logging in my head different clips, different actions that are going on.
Do you miss being able just to be a fan, to sit back and say, I just want to watch the game just for the sake of
a little
watching?
bit. I get to get away from it more if I watch non-professional basketball. If I just get to go watch a pickup game, or if I get to go watch a kid's game at the YMCA, I get to watch my little cousin's game or something, then I can sit back and do it for the most part. But yeah.
When you see one coach up against another coach, you always watch matchups.
Right.
Do you find that, I mean, it's just because repetition, don't you just see the same matchup, same repetition? You just see like one guy just gets another guy, just the same thing. It's a pattern.
Yeah,
over
it's
and
a
over.
chess match.
Right. Over
it's a chess
and over.
match.
Exactly.
You see one person make a decision and make an adjustment, and then the next person does. And right now it's NBA playoffs, so you get a lot of that. It's really fun to watch.
So like if you see this guy, you go, look, you do the same thing to this guy every damn time. So you got to break your pattern.
Right.
Because he knows exactly what you got to do, because you always go left every time. You got to go right. I mean, you're making a guy make a change. I mean, it was just like a boxer.
Right. Absolutely.
You got to just have to make a change.
Just for one question. What have you noticed in the last 5 years in the NBA, especially, but also in college, of how the game has changed and developed just in the last few years?
The game's changed a lot. I can speak most to the professional level in the NBA and in the G League. There's more players being put on the floor that are on the floor for their skill rather than necessarily on the floor for their size a lot of the time. So there's more shooters out on the floor. There's more guys that can handle the ball on the floor. You have 7-footers now who can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Right.
I coached a team 3 years ago in Reno, which was Sacramento's G League team. And it was a bit of an experiment season that Sacramento wanted to use us for, where we shot 53s a game.
Oh, man.
We shot 53s a game, and we had games where we scored 160 points, 170 points. We had a game where we were down 94-72 at halftime, and we won the game 174-169 in regulation.
Defensive battle.
Yeah, right. Grind it out.
So more skilled shooting, long 3-point shooting, rather than size and power ball.
I mean, the game flows back and forth. The game comes around in circles and stuff. So the more skill that's put on the floor, another team counters it sometimes by punishing it inside with some size.
Gotcha.
And then now it's a battle of which one's going to win out, right? And so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it changes over time.
So you here to stay, or you just what's your future?
I'll be here in Santa Barbara for the next few months, most of the off season, throughout the summer, just working with different players. We'll have our pre-draft section over the next couple months leading up to the NBA draft in June.
Nice.
And then some of the veteran NBA players just getting ready for the next season start to trickle out here in June.
Nice.
And are here June, July, August. I have in June, I'm working with the New Zealand national team, so I'm an assistant coach with them. So I'll take off to New Zealand for that month.
So you'll be back with players.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. All right.
There you go.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know how size-wise or whatever like that, so we'll bring shirts. We got a mug here. Andie's back now, too.
No,
I
it's
like
fun.
that because you got practice. We love it, both of you.
Mr. Ross, social media-wise, anybody can follow you?
Yeah, how are we going to follow you?
Maybe just Twitter?
Just at Ross McMains, and separately, a basketball account that's been really helpful just from teaching points is at Efficient Sauce. Efficient Sauce. You go on there 3 posts a day, some really instructional stuff on just teaching the game and learning the game.
That's on Instagram, right?
Yep, Instagram, that one.
So Twitter, Ross McMains, Instagram, Efficient Sauce with
or
an
we
E.
can, if you didn't catch any of that, we could also get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
Teen Sports Radio, we got your contact information there. You want to also give your phone number if you want, whatever you want to do?
I don't want my phone number out there, but...
Okay, no!
Yeah.
He's
Twitter.
married, everybody.
Twitter,
Yes.
on Twitter, Coach A. Gill, AGIL. On Twitter, you can follow me. I post a lot of academic stuff because you'd be surprised. Different philosophies, but in terms, it all kind of comes back to the same. Coaching is a lot of just counseling, managing personalities and people on the floor, and X's and O's will get you certain places, but what are the relationships like? That's kind of how I see it as well.
Yeah, check Andie's Twitter feed. It's inspiring. Every day I wake up, there's a new good quote, new good message. It's awesome.
Well, we definitely love you both. Andie, you know how much I adore you. So.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
It's good to see everybody again.
All right, more beautiful new commercials. Thank you, Dr. D. Be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right. Michelle's in the house, as we all know. P-A-L.
Pal. Yay!
We didn't even practice.
I was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Give me a P.
Yay! Give me an A. A.
Give me an L.
L.
L for love. Pal. I know. Well, you know, we love being on here. And I brought 2 amazing guests today. I know. Give it up for Pal Kids. And I have Josecelyn Martinez here today.
Hello, everybody.
Josecelyn is an explorer, and she works at the police department. And I have Frankie here today.
What's up, Frankie?
Hi.
I know. So, we have a big day with explorers today.
Yes, we do.
What do we have going on?
Today we have our Explorer orientation. So we're inviting other teens between the ages of 14 and 21 to come in, and basically we're going to present what the Explorers are, a fun group of teens that are trying to learn about law enforcement, getting to train with officers and learning about the career. Also, we do a lot of community service and go off all over the city and state and compete against other agencies.
God, this is exciting. Is this the first year that you've done the Explorer program?
I've been in the Explorer program since 2014 when I was 16. Now I'm 21, so this will be my last year. But I've definitely learned a lot and grown a lot as a person.
I know. I met Josecelyn. I had just started with PAL. I'd maybe been with PAL for 6 months, and we had the Montecito Motor Classic. And I was down and got left doing all the registrations as the cars came in. I had no idea what I was doing. And I look over, and there's Josecelyn. I was like, I need your help. And we just ran it. And from then on, she's my go-to girl. If something needs to happen, it's her. But you're not just an explorer and a student. What else are you doing, Josecelyn?
I am also working currently at the police department. I got in, I think, at the age of 18 or 19. So I've been there for 2.5 years now. I first started as a police cadet, and then I went into records. So now I'm a record specialist. Hopefully in the next 5 years, hopefully sooner, I'll be able to go to the police academy and become a police officer and work for our city.
We're birthing our first responder here.
Yes, I'm very excited. Hopefully I finish off my school, get a degree, and then I go in, and then we'll see how things go.
So really quickly, I'm just wondering if you could compare how the Explorer program prepares you differently than being involved in PAL alone.
We're an umbrella, PAL, we're under the PAL program and what they do, but the Explorers is really dedicated to law enforcement and the career in law enforcement. So we are training with our officers from the police department. They train us on what they do. They teach us the law, they teach us the codes, they teach us strategies, and they tell us what they do. So we are basically learning what they learned, and sometimes we get more training than them because we do this once a week and we repeat things and we train hard with different officers, and it's really fun.
So if you've ever watched Cops, because I watch Cops all the time, and you know how they say, step out of your vehicle, don't face me, turn around, walk with your hands up. That's pretty standard, and I've been at competitions in watching our young explorers go through this. So they go to competitions on building searches and DUI stops, and they learn about officer safety. They learn how to de-escalate situations, and it's just absolutely amazing. So
yeah, they're really high stress scenarios. So we really do rely on the training that we receive, and then at the same time, we learn about discipline, responsibility, teamwork, integrity, all of those traits that you would see in an officer. That's what we're learning in the Explorer program.
Quick question for you.
Okay.
Where did you go to elementary school, middle school, and high school?
Elementary, I went to Washington Elementary. Mm-hmm. Junior high, I went to La Cumbre Junior High. And high school, I went to San Marcos.
Are you the first person in your family to go to college?
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I've got goosebumps. You're living proof of how important the PAL program is.
Yes.
And reaching the kids that need it.
Yes, definitely.
And if there's kids listening out there right now, and I know Erica has a huge following with the children. She has a huge following. They're gonna know that they can follow the same path you followed.
Oh, yes.
And there's an opportunity. What piece of advice would you give to that 7-year-old girl that's living on the west side that doesn't think this is an opportunity for her?
I would say if you have a dream, you go for it. There is always a way. There is nothing stopping you. My family immigrated here from Mexico, no papers, no citizenship. My mom was a single mom. My grandparents raised me until I was in junior high. All throughout my career, I always knew I wanted to be a police officer. So that's the one thing, that was my goal. And I knew that I had to fight and do whatever I had to do to get there. And if that meant going into programs like PAL, the Explorers, or going up to a teacher and saying, hey, I need help with this, can you help me? That's what I had to do. So I would say if you have a goal, definitely fight for it. If you need help, it's definitely okay to ask for help. Go to a teacher, go to a family member, go to a friend's parent that you trust, and ask for help. And you reach for your goals. You can reach as high as you want.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why she's my girl. I know, absolutely incredible. And I also have Frankie here today. Frankie has been at PAL, I think this might be his second year, and I have a silly little story. And he doesn't know I'm going to tell this. We just had our Menudo Festival. So I'm there working it, and in comes this very striking older couple, and they come up and they introduce themselves, and they say, we're Frankie's grandparents. And I said, my Frankie? And Grandma just laughed. I mean, it brought such joy to her that, that's how we think of all of our kids at PAL. And I had a great conversation with her. He is a fantastic young man. And Frankie, hop on the mic. How are you doing today?
Good.
So what are you doing at PAL? You do lots of stuff at PAL.
I'm not really doing much right now.
Well,
but
music. You got music going.
Yeah, music too. I'm playing ukulele and drums at the festival during the summer. I don't know when.
It's going to be sometime in June.
June?
Yeah. And then you completed the Ribbit program.
Yeah.
That was pretty huge. What did you guys accomplish with that?
Mostly a bike.
You earned a bike. But how did you earn that bike?
By participating in safety rules and how we're supposed to ride in the streets and the signals.
Right. And the culminating event was what? You guys did a pretty huge event.
The 30-mile bike.
The 34-mile bike ride.
Oh, my God. I couldn't do 4 miles.
They did 34-mile bike ride as part of the SB 100, and they earned a bicycle.
That's fantastic.
But
Good job.
he's one of our young leaders. He's in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Wow, you're a baby.
I know. But
looks a lot older.
He's one of those young men that when he comes in, he comes in and he's just, you can see, he has
definitely, he's got a presence.
Presence.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess with you. I'm just saying.
No, he's just.
No, he's got attitude, but no, in a calm way. Like, right, Michael? You look at him, right?
I see a police officer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I do.
Yeah, but if we have a younger student.
Like, guilty. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Right away, you would just think everybody's like, no.
No, he's good. He helps out with
right?
a lot of this. I know, he's good.
No, I'm just saying.
Real quick, I got to give him a plug because we look to our senior high to get their community service in.
Right.
But I really want to encourage our younger kids. Right. We want to start recording that. Yeah. And Frankie is one of those kids who I'm like, hey, can you help with this? Hey, we have a young kid who needs help in his math, a 6th grader, a 7th grader. And he's always willing to go and sit and help them. It's amazing.
And that's so important, too, because it also not only develops like leadership skills, but you just become so much more fluent in those skills themselves.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, Frankie, I look at you, I'm just saying you're an old soul, but I would want to tell you the truth straight up. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
You and I have this thing. Maybe like you were a grandfather or whatever like this. And did you take the chocolate? Yes. I'm just saying. That's all we're going to take a break right now. We'll talk about it at break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Tea. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. And I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Alexandria, we're on, 3 more times. Do you know when we are on, by chance?
Oh, we are. We are. So you're listening probably right now at 9 a.m. On Tuesday morning. We're also on at 3 in the morning on Sundays.
Yes.
And we are also on
11 o'clock
on Tuesday night. There we go.
I know you'd want to catch it again.
Oh yeah. And especially
Mountain Time.
There we go.
Exactly.
See, I had it.
You travel.
Yeah, totally.
Time traveler.
But
MB's a time traveler.
He is. Michael Baker. So, what other times are we on? You can also check us out on Facebook.
Right? Facebook. Yeah, it's always posted on Facebook.
YouTube. Instagram.
Twitter bombs.
Twitter. And my favorite. Yeah, the internet.
And the webpage. And the webpage. You can meet all the hosts on the website.
That's right. I encourage you to check us all out because we've carefully crafted our little resumes. And
added. We've got Jessica up there now.
Jessica's up in there representing.
We've added people. Kathleen.
Yeah, Jessica came through the Explorer.
Exactly.
She aged out.
Yeah.
She was also a sergeant with the Explorer Post.
Oh, I know. I mean, we're just adding, and we're reaching out to the community because we're just expanding. Yeah. I'm so excited about the expansion program we've started. We're expanding.
That's right. If you ever want to come on Teen Sports Radio, just know that you probably are going to be offered a co-host position. And I'm guaranteeing you that everyone's going to vote that you should become a co-host.
We have so much fun. Hey, I've got another question for Frankie. Okay, if I can pass this on to you. I heard that you were doing music, and I was wondering, with playing the drums, how many years have you had a chance to do this?
Playing drums?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just learning one song for the music festival, but hopefully I learn more.
Nice. Do you feel inspired to keep going with it?
Yes.
Nice. And if you weren't in PAL, do you have any other opportunities to study music?
Yes, I have 2 electives in school, and I both picked music.
Wow, that's awesome. So at school, what instrument are you playing at school?
Trumpet, tuba, piano, and marimba.
Wow.
And then he plays the drums and the ukulele. He's like a one-man band.
This is... I can barely play the piano, and I've been playing it for 10 years, so that's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. I have to give a shout out to your school's music program because my son played the saxophone when he was there, and he actually got into, I think, like the honors jazz band or something. It was wonderful, fantastic experience. Do you go like early? Do you do first period class?
I have 0 period and 4th period.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. He had so much fun. It like made his year. What would you say to another student who hasn't considered taking music? How would you inspire them to go take an instrument?
If you play an instrument, it will inspire you to be more creative and be more successful in life.
And I just am curious, how do you feel like from when you start playing an instrument till after? Does it ever de-stress you, or do you ever feel like, I don't know, more in tune or something? I don't know if that makes sense or resonates with you at all. Like, do you ever feel like it relaxes you and you can just really get into playing the instrument once you start learning it a little bit more?
Yes.
It's kind of a really good tool to use just to express yourself. So is that another reason why you would recommend for people to learn something?
Yes,
and
much.
What about like having this diversity of instruments that you play? Why did you decide to pursue so many instruments?
Oh, because I want to be a musician.
Oh, okay. So do you feel like it helps you like kind of understand when you maybe are eventually writing music? Do you feel like it's going to help you understand like how what instrument sounds and when it sounds? Oh my gosh,
like
I cannot. I am not articulate at all right now. But essentially, that with the harmonies, like I think it just makes you such a more well-rounded player, and I really wish that I'd learned more instruments growing up.
Well, plus I think he's spiritually guided. You know, you don't want to pick up this instrument and that instrument. I mean, you're guided to do it, and that's just great because your heart's open to it, and that's fantastic. So I applaud you. I mean, keep it up. And you're lucky you have somebody like Michelle not pushing, like making you, but encouraging. You know, you're very blessed. But the people are going to come in your life when you need them to keep loving you. I mean, your heart's open for it. So
well, he is my Frankie.
That's right. See,
I said that to his grandmother.
And she, like, you guys are connected, awesome. So you're very blessed. Let's take another break, all right? And anytime you want to come back, you're welcome, all right? Co-host. You're my next co-host. You want to be a co-host? No. Not? Hey, you're on! Hey, you're the first one! The first one! Boy, bang! Ouch! Bang! Hit me!
For that alone.
I'm going to give you a Blender's card. Denied! We're taking a break. I'm going to go get a tissue. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. You know, we got the final 2 minutes. Really quick, I was going to talk about de-stressing or whatever like this, but I've got to tell you, we had a little birth. We had like 4 little chickens. I don't know if I told you. I think I sent it to you. On the 17th, I didn't tell you about my chickens, but on the 17th, we had 4 little baby chickens. And did you guys see that little almost landing? About the
Philly Airport.
Yeah.
Did you an emergency?
Yes.
So in the Philadelphia
Southwest?
Yes.
Yeah, Southwest. In the Philadelphia airport, they had to do an emergency landing.
Yes.
It was Tammy Jo.
Yeah, that was the name of my chicken. How'd you know?
How did I know? We were only talking about it.
Okay. I thought you're psychic. I thought we had this thing going.
Oh yeah.
No. Okay.
I'm just tuned in. I'm sitting in Terry Cooper's seat.
That's what it is. It's coming through. That's amazing.
No, so I feel like I was just learning about it so much, and it's not really on the news. I think I heard about it on one second on the radio, maybe. But no, it's incredible. This woman was piloting this flight that was really going down. A piece of the airplane fell off. Somebody flew out of the airplane, really insane situation, and she just totally kept her calm. Okay, we're flying, and right, okay, so we'll all veer it this way, and okay, I'll prepare for landing. Meanwhile, we have everybody else screaming in the background, right? Men.
Panicking,
men.
losing it.
And you know, for a female pilot, she was extremely calm.
Did you lose that when you heard
How
that?
surprising.
No, well, I mean, I was gonna redo the whole thing with Dr. D. Like imagine if I was doing the play, right? JMJ, pass me the bag. I was gonna start breathing. No, seriously, it was like she was getting a pedicure. She was the most amazing woman. What I want to do is maybe just take that clip, and I don't know if I can, but we're going to do it anyway, because everybody I've talked to haven't heard it. Yeah, and I mean, you've heard it. Everybody's heard it. God bless her. Let's give her a hand. Woo! It made me happy. It found my happy. Santa Barbara, everybody here loves you. Be kind. Happy spring. We'll see you next week. God bless!
Southwest 1380 has an engine fire descending.
Southwest 1380, you're descending right now?
Yes, sir. We're single engine descending, have a fire, number 1.
Yeah, we have a part of the aircraft missing, so we're going to need to slow down a bit. Okay, could you have the medical meet us there on the runway as well? We've got injured passengers.
Injured passengers, okay. And is your airplane physically on fire?
No, it's not on fire, but part of it's missing. They said there was a hole and someone went out.
I'm sorry, you said there was a hole and somebody went out? Southwest 1380, it doesn't matter. We'll work it out there.
Thank you. We're going to stop right here by the fire truck. Thanks, guys, for the help.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.